Glad you could join us on another exciting edition of Arthouse. I'm Melinda Akinlami. Our lineup today is laced with exciting events. Let's check it out. A lot of solo shows from this exhibition at the Propelling Gallery in Lagos. Then it's off to Port Harcourt, the River State capital, to see where sports and art meet at this exhibition at the Moriri Gallery. I'm sure you can't wait to enjoy it. You get all those details when Arthouse returns in a moment. Stay with us.
I brought all the experiences as a top theatre artist in this land to the fore, as it's done in all other places where children are celebrated and entertained.
Yes, we continue to celebrate the life and times of dramatist Jimmy Solanke with that art quote, which I hope will inspire younger creatives. So people have already caught the bug and are not backing down, as we see in this solo exhibition at the Propelling Gallery in Lagos.
The Propelling Gallery in Lagos, a modern and contemporary art house dedicated to showcasing ingenious artists who have mastered the art of storytelling, is the venue for this maiden solo exhibition by visual artist and storyteller Akinlabi Akimbulumo.
Mask individuality is really a profound exhibition by the phenomenal artist Akinlabi Akimbulumo, also known as Fisher. This exhibition is about stories that surround topics such as identity, vulnerability, and authenticity. It really is about how we walk around wearing half masks. A lot of times the reason why we wear these half masks is our way to cover our vulnerabilities, because we're so scared about how people will judge us or how people will perceive us. And so these half masks are not necessarily deceptive veils. They're actually just the way that we show up in the world, because that's how we understand that we can show up in the world with being our best selves.
The idea behind this exhibition is I'm looking for a way to tell a couple of stories of people who try to show up every day trying to be their best selves, but then they also have these parts of their selves that they like to keep for themselves. So the idea behind this is to say that every one of us, at the most or at the best of us, when we show up in a public place, we show our half mask. We show that part of ourselves, that we want the world to see, that we want to use to integrate with the world around us. But more importantly, we have that part of ourselves that we're internally maybe struggling with. And the truth is that the beauty is that either of the both, work. And that's the challenge that each and every one of us has as humans. And this exhibition is showing what this really is about.
In half-mask individuality, the artist creates works of art in monochrome and colors that show a human face juxtaposed with a mask.
My art has black and white, high contrast black and white photography at the center of it, and amidst that I play with a bit of motifs, gold, a lot of color play that just sort of intertwines with high contrast black and white photography in the center of it. And why do I use black and white photography? I think that no other type of photography brings out the soul within the image or within the people within the images that I take. And so that's really essentially what my style is. Black and white photography mixed with either gold or a lot of motif and patterns.
This exhibition is a collection of 30 artworks, including 2 installations. They cut across multi-mediums. So we've got acrylic, photography, and We've also got 3D modeling. The artist, again, is someone who is super brilliant, being able to work across multidisciplinaries. And so, my hope is that people will just enjoy it.
For him, the masked side of different personalities are some thoughts and feelings that are not revealed.
My hope is that for everyone who is here, that comes here to see these art pieces, they will see themselves in at least one of the images or one of the art pieces that they see. Because I'm here telling different stories. They are my own versions of the stories that I'm telling, but I want people to see their own selves within the different stories that I hear, and then connect with it. And then more importantly, understand that, look, all of us are human, all of us are going through the same types of things, the same types of struggles, and also the same types of victories. And that's what I'm hoping that anybody who's here will see.
Well, from what I've read so far, I think the images sort of express almost like an alter ego of some sort of the human images that you see to the left of the masks. I think most of the masks are on the right of the image. And I think it's really interesting. If you read the captions, you get a sense from what the artist is trying to do. I think it captures it very, very well. But yeah, I like the idea of the alter ego masks matching the emotions of the human images next to it.
There's a popular Shakespearean quote that says, "There is no art to find the mind's construction on the face." This statement shines through these works of art displayed in this solo show.
Beautiful works, very, very intense works, great images. I see that the artist is working with photos overlaid with computer-generated images of masks that tend to match the images that you see. I think it's a very interesting juxtaposition of masks and human features. I like it. I think they're nice.
It speaks very directly to we human beings, right? If I look at the story behind the artworks and what it's trying to express and communicate, I think the one thing that stands out from the theme, masks, every individual has a mask that they are putting on. And most times, depending on who you're going to see or who you're going to meet with, you have a particular persona that you want to present to that person. So, and that's really the story here. So in that, right, there is the who we want to be. There is the who we really are. There is our authentic selves. But then society and our environment and how we've been brought up, all influence the version that we present to ourselves. And it takes a lot to say, let me take a step back. Let me actually look, this version I'm presenting, is this who I am? And if it's not, what do you want to do about it?
I believe that art in Nigeria is here to stay. It's always here and it's always here to stay. One of the best ways that anyone can communicate the culture of a people, the language of a people, the heart and soul of a people, the story of a people is through art. When you use art and tell stories, you begin to shape culture. So what that means is that art is at the center of culture shaping. So the more that we have more people doing art and different variants of their art and telling their own side of the different stories that we tell, we will always forever have these beautiful stories of Africa, of Nigeria.
This exhibition unveils the delicate interplay between public personas and private vulnerabilities.
Our wordsmith is titled Tears by Tomiwa Adelagun. The rain falls because heaven can no longer handle its heaviness. Just like tears or rain, they fall when the heart can no longer hold the pain. Some say it's painful to wait for someone. Some say it's painful to forget someone. But the worst pain comes when you don't know whether to forget or to remain. Knowing that, pain changes people and makes them trust less, overthink more, and shut people out of their main expression. There's gain in letting the tears rain. It can be the main solution to the pain.
I like the way Prisha puts motifs to his images to show the emotions people sometimes try to conceal. Now it's time to take a moment on the program. When we return, it's off to Port Harcourt, the River State capital, where Polo players were part of this creative process. You won't want to miss that one, coming up in a moment. Do stay with us.
And these are the works of art you sent in recently. Let's begin with this one called I Spy. It's an acrylic on canvas work done by Eddie Otebele. Then Innocent Chikezie shows us Precious Mama Arrived. Is also an acrylic on canvas piece. Even When the Sun Goes Down is an acrylic on canvas work as well by Emily Anyebunam. Then Olufemi Adedeji is encouraging everyone to have peace of mind. He says it's very important with this digital painting on paper. Another digital painting, this one has some color, is called Grace by Matthias Ahmed. Against All Odds for Survival in Our Society is a work of art by Kingsley Nwafo. Then Complication is an abstract painting, an oil on canvas piece by Oscar Tamgam. We wrap things up with Moonlight Dance, the second in the series, an acrylic on canvas work by Dennis. And those are the works of art you sent in recently. We do encourage you to keep them coming.
While Wild Emotions is the title of this exhibition, which is propelling polo through art at this gallery in Port Harcourt, River State.
The Moriri Art Gallery in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, is alive with a new collaboration which has birthed this exhibition titled Wild Emotions.
Well, we're trying to start a conversation in Port Harcourt, in River State. We're trying to see how art can be used to propel other endeavors, in the city. And polo, it's a game that has the ability to bring people together, and Moriri keyed into that, and we started this conversation. So Wild Emotions basically talks about the energy, the exuberance that comes from the engagements between the horses and the players when you watch the game.
Since it's a show where art meets sports, we see themed mixed media paintings of polo players in action, full of energy, vigor, and color, in an exhibition usually held annually when there's a tournament in the city.
It's an art exhibition, propelling polo through art. It's in conjunction with the Port Harcourt Polo Club. They had a tournament, and every tournament we have a collaborative exhibition to commemorate that tournament. So that's what we have today, and it's a polo-focused exhibition titled Wild Emotions. This is the second edition, and really, for me, is exciting because what this artist has, called to bear here is to show how prolific art can be and how it can be used to push any human endeavor. So we're using art today to propel polo, to push polo, to make it a sport that will appeal to a broad spectrum of people. For me, I would call on everybody to look out for Godwin Aripo, who is the artist, and to see the mixed media works that he has. These works are exciting, and these works, I can tell you, by any means, stand as unique pieces that you can acquire, not just for aesthetic reasons, but also as an investment. This is one that has plenty of colors, and outside of plenty of colors that it has different items on it that makes it a mixed media, that makes it a mixed media work that can appeal to not just a polo enthusiast, but also somebody that loves the aesthetics that you can provide. But inside of it, I can say to you, this piece of work is something that I respect and appreciate so much.
The artist walks us through his artistic journey and how artificial intelligence can impact the art world positively.
Everyone feels threatened because when you look at what AI is doing, I think you should, because it looks like it could in just a split second replace all the efforts and the engagements that we've tried to put together. But what I rather think is, because of the presence of AI, first of all, what it would do is that it will amplify the value of an original painting. Because when an AI produces an art and we know it's AI produced, we already we can see that there's a bit of technology to that production. So it's going to increase the worth and value of traditional art. And then that's number one. Then number two, I also believe that we will never get to a point where it looks like AI is going to is going to supersede the human intelligence, because AI does not on its own work without an engagement from the back end. And those engagements are also humans doing that. We could want to look at AI as a box where different engagements have been put together and it's wired to work in that sequence. But humans are the ones responsible for doing that.
Some of the Polo players also participated in the creative process. The manager of the Moriri Art Gallery, Kayode Adeoti, tells us more about the exhibition, which was done in 2 parts.
This notion that Polo is elitist, and so, but with beautiful works of art. You will agree with me with what you're saying here today, that everybody is excited by what they see. So what we did, as a matter of fact, is that we staged a 2-set exhibition. On the one part at the Polo Club, and this is the second part that has the larger works. So at the Polo Club, to also use art to propel Polo, we brought out a blank canvas, which was sketched by the artist. And we got everybody to come paint on it. So the president of the Polo Club invited his special guest on each day to come add color to it.
One of the visitors, who's also an artist, shares his thoughts about the art and artist.
This is one of his works. The title of this is Friends. So these are 2 horses. Of course, me, I'll call it Milibrity. Milibrity means togetherness. So I can see the 2 horses in their style, in his style. Not just horses. We're not seeing just horses. We are seeing textures. We are seeing works. We are seeing, what baffles me about his work is the depths and his extent of creativity. He's out of the box. So I think Aribo has done well for his work, and this is one of the masterpieces. He has a lot of works here put around. So I think I must appreciate him, and I have to say that I'm happy to be here today to witness this.
This exhibition goes beyond the sport. It's to encourage people to keep chasing their dreams until it becomes a reality.
Interesting collaboration there, and I hope we see more from other sectors as well. Time to find out what we have in store for you on the next episode of the program.
On the next episode of Arthouse, a joint exhibition by mixed media artists Sylvester Aguda and Toluwalope Ajayi in Lagos.
A love lesson taking is like a garden unguarded, where the sweetest fruits are plucked by those who tend to refuse.
Then, after an intensive writing process, it all comes down to the grand finale of the Beta Playwright competition at the Muson Center in Lagos. We encourage you to keep liking, sharing, and viewing our page so more people can enjoy the ever bubbly and ingenious art scene in the country.
Your Arthouse experience doesn't have to end when the show is not on television. Interact with us on our various social media platforms. See any edition of Arthouse on our website or YouTube page. Join our very interactive Facebook page by joining the group on Arthouse on Channels. We're everywhere.
That's the program this week. Thank you so much for being great company, and do continue to interact with us on our various social media platforms. I'm Melinda Akinlami, encouraging you to keep the creative spirit alive.